Yo, what's up? Before we start the video, we're at like almost 5K subscribers. I never ask anybody to subscribe, but if you could, that would be dope. Enjoy the video. Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well today. And we've got a Sakazuki mirror matchup against my man Tyler here. And this was an absolute back and forth match. This was so good. This was played last Friday, if I'm not mistaken. We had a locals with, I think, 20-ish players. It was like about 20 players. And yeah, I think we were both undefeated at this point in time. We were both 3-0. And I ended up winning the dice roll on this, and I choose to take second. Yeah, he is going to hit me with that 8K. I'm definitely going to be taking that. Don't want to be countering out too early. And I'll go ahead and just swing 5. He will take, and I'll play Kuzan. Drawing into a card, just seeing which one I want to cycle, though. I'm just trying to make sure that I do have plays for the remaining turns coming up. I choose to get rid of the Ice Age here. I like Ice Age in this matchup occasionally, but more or less not until the end of the game. And now we're going to see him cycling his own Kuzan, using the Great Eruption to get rid of that. Hound Blaze is going to give me an 8K swing. I'm just going to go ahead and take it. I don't feel as though I needed the Great Eruption in this moment. I felt like my hand was really healthy. I also had, I think, 1 or 2 Great Eruptions in there. He does pick up that 7-cost Borsalino, though, off the brand new search. And now we've got 6 Dawn to work with. I feel like I can set up a little bit. I don't have to worry too much about the brand new. Brand new is nice, but, you know, for him to have on the board, but at the same time, I'm not exactly threatened by it. We did get one of the Hound Blazes off the board already, so I'm pretty happy about that. And I'll go ahead and cycle Hina, drawing into another Hound Blaze, which I'm really happy about. The more that I have that card, towards the end of the game, the more that I feel as though I have that, you know, ability to go for the final blow. But both of us looking pretty healthy on hand size. I do establish that other Kuzan, knowing that it's more than likely just going to get bottom decked with 7-cost Borsalino, but I just wanted to get another card draw, and I knew that I would be able to remove his Borsalino the turn after, so I wasn't sweating it too much. And now I can get those beautiful Great Eruptions down onto the board, or excuse me, not really down onto the board, but in play, and start getting some card draw. So I am just going to use the Great Eruption here. We do pick up a Lucci, which is real nice. And now I'm just kind of thinking whether Lucci is going to be my play, and I'll just get rid of the brand new as well as the Borsalino, or how I want to go about this. Because I know that if I use Great Eruption here, I'm going back down to 6 Dawn, so I'll have 2 to work with the Lucci. So getting rid of not only Borsalino, but brand new simultaneously is going to be a little tricky. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a 7K to life, though. I want to pressure him enough that I can get him down to potentially 1 life here, but he does counter out with that Borsalino, and I believe it was a Tashigi. I'll go ahead and use the Great Eruption, and we end up finding another brand new, but I am just probably going to play the Lucci here. Just get a card onto the board and get rid of that Borsalino. I'm just kind of considering whether I want to use the Lucci or if I want to use Hound Blaze. So I am taking my time a little bit about this. I actually do choose to use the Hound Blaze because I had 3 in hand, and I'll play the brand new. Now, taking a look at it, I'm a little upset that unfortunately I'm losing my Rebecca here, but I get a Hina into trash and I pick up a 2K counter, so all things considered, not too shabby. Yeah, now I'm passing it back over, though. 9 Dawn for my opponent. Gives him many options. This is usually speaking like a really nice Rebecca into Lucci play, and he is going to use that Mancherry first to pick up Sabo, though, returning a few to the bottom of the deck. Is going to get that Sabo draw power and cycling 2 cards out. And also attacks for 7k. I ended up skipping forward just a little bit there because at the very end of this game, both my opponent and myself definitely take our time, like trying to make the right decisions, because it's not always easy in this position to figure out what is going to be the best play. And might take you 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half to figure it out, go through the scenarios in your head. And I do have that 10 cost Kuzan in hand, and I choose not to cycle it. I choose to cycle a Sabo instead. I mean, it is what it is. I just don't think that 10 cost Kuzan is playable at this point in the game, nor is it really playable very much in the mirror matchup. So I think I probably should have just gotten rid of that, if I'm being completely honest. If I do use the Houndblaze here, we are going to get rid of the Sabo. I'll go ahead and swing 8 into life. And then with the remaining 4, I would imagine I'm just going to play that Borsalino that we just picked up. Taking a look over the hand, yeah, definitely going to be playing the Borsalino. And if I don't cycle the 10 cost Kuzan the following turn, I don't know. Not really sure what we were shooting for if I don't do that, but both of us at that sweet 10 Dawn spot though. We have very healthy hand sizes, both at 1 life. This is where the back and forth of this matchup really begins. A lot of board wipe, a lot of removal, and it does become very, very tricky to some degree, as to what is going to be the right order to do things, what cards are getting played to get most of the value off of the board from your opponent. And I know that I believe he has that Rebecca Lucci combo this turn. I feel like I remember feeling the pain, but I know that Borsalino is annoying, so he is considering, like, how can I get rid of the Borsalino with what I have on board at the moment? Potentially swinging brand new, and if I am silly enough to rest my Borsalino blocker, that could be the the nail in the coffin right there. But it is going to boil down to what exactly he has in hand. There could be some removal, and he does use the leader ability there to cycle. I believe it was getting rid of a Hina in hand, but we will use the Great Eruption here on Borsalino, getting to draw a card, but also bringing it down by 2. It makes me feel as though we're definitely going to be seeing a Houndblaze this time around. And with that, that means that 3 Dawn are gone, so Hina into Lucci is more than likely the play. And I believe this buffed up... I can't remember if this buffed up... Oh, it did buff up brand new. He marks it. Okay. So, buffing up brand new to a 6k here. Hina might just go into my Rebecca blocker and then take out not only brand new, or excuse me, not only Hina, but brand new after leader swing right here. But I guess it kind of depends. So 6k, I believe, he pointed at life. So this is going into life. I know that for sure I can't take this. If I do take this, we put ourselves in a really bad position of being able to get KO'd quite easily. And I'm more than likely just going to give him a 2k Tashigi here to get out of this. That last life is very, very important in this matchup. And I do choose to counter out, though, with Tashigi. We're going to see 7 coming down into... I believe this is into Hina lowering brand new or something of the sort. And I will go ahead and block this. And now that's when another lower effect is going to come down. Suru is going to take out the Hina, or excuse me, lower the Hina to take out both of those with Rob Lucci. Now, I'm looking at my opponent's board. I'm not overly upset about the turn of events that just happened, just because I know for a fact that the way that just played out does put me in a spot with him only having 4 cards in hand, and if I'm able to remove this, we can set up for the late stages of the game, as well as having 2 Sabos on board. And I mean, I suppose we already are in the late stages of the game. However, this has definitely been a back and forth of, you know, king of removal. Who's got it, who doesn't. I am going to get rid of that brand new, though, bringing Rob Lucci down. And I think I have to return the favor here. I'm just going to play Suru into Rob Lucci to KO the 2. Get rid of both of those, leaving me with 5. So I can just go ahead and use that good old-fashioned Sabo here. Protect my cards for the following turn, but also maybe just cycle out and get a couple new cards that we might need. 7-cost Borsellino as well as a Tashigi counter. I don't think Borsellino is really going to help me much for the rest of this game, so I would imagine that's going to be the card that I'm going to be pitching here. I love brand new, but I know that I've seen pretty much all of my Hound Blazes already, so I don't really feel as though I need it very much, but I do choose to keep it over the 4-cost Borsellino. So I trash that 7-cost Borsellino as well as the 4-cost blocker. And now just passing it back over. I know that he's got some tricks up his sleeve. We're going to see a 6k swing, lowering Sabo to 4 here. And I could just rest the Sabo and counter out with the brand new, but honestly, after pitching the 4-cost Borsellino, I think it might be best to keep brand new just in case. But yeah, it looks as though we do have a good bit of our Rebecca's in the trash too. I can't remember if I just saw 2 or 3. It looked like 2 potentially, but I would love to see another one of those. That is a fact. Another one of those would be very helpful, and I do decide to counter out with that brand new, though. Just going up to 7k here. We are going to see Rebecca for 4, picking up Tashigi and playing a Hina. This is also going to lower Sabo down to a 0 cost, and another 4 for Rebecca to pick up a Bartolomeo just to get that extra 2k counter. So I was very happy with the lack of removal that turn. That was pretty solid for me all around. I didn't want to potentially, you know, have him oh, actually I skip right here as well because I take a very good chunk of time trying to decide my play as well. But I will go 5 into Hina and lowering it down by 2. I don't think I have any of the like Surus or Hinas to do any of the lowering right now. So with that, as much as I love having the Houndblaze in hand and the Lucci, they're just not going to cut it against this, you know, wall of Rebecca's that I have in front of me. I do have a lot of Dawn though that I can just start swinging really heavy and then play my own Sabo here, and I should be fine. But I do think that I'm just trying to get resources out of hand here. I was thinking to myself, if I draw into a lot of, if I draw into some of the cards that can potentially get these Rebecca's lowered enough, then I would have Lucci or the Houndblaze to go for game. And I decide to just swing 6 instead of swinging a little bit heavier and get those 2k counters that he picked up out of hand. I will go ahead and play the Sabo though, drawing into the Ice Age here, and now I'm just like, ugh, now I'm torn, and I end up actually skipping ahead again because I take some time to think about this, and I choose to get rid of the Ice Age and the Houndblaze. Actually, I knew that if he had the removal, you know, there was a potential of losing the game, so I played a little bit scared, not even a little bit, a lot of bit scared here at the very end of the match because he's got only 2 cards in hand, but I'm fine with it. We're in a winning position, and I didn't want to potentially, you know, lose the match off of a like Great Eruption Houndblaze at this point in the game because we had been playing for quite a while and it got down to the wire here. But I'll just leave both of the Sabos active. Luckily enough for me, they can't be KO'd just because of the Sabo effect. But I will see a 7k into Rob Lucci, lowering one of my Sabos. Pretty easy 2k counter right here. just because I know that he's not going to be able to remove the card. But I do just 2k counter out of this, and Rebecca into a Borsellino. We've got a wall of blockers to get through. But the nice thing is he's not able to remove my board at the moment, and I've kind of stopped some of his like useful development onto the board. It's gonna be tricky, but I do need to somehow get through a lot of this. I'll go ahead and swing 5 here. I just want to see how he reacts. You know, will we see the Borsellino being rested? And I'll go ahead and lower one of the Rebeccas. We do see the Borsellino being rested. Now it's kind of irrelevant, you know, that it's rested. I could go into Borsellino, but I'm just going to go into life because it forces a 2k or it forces a block. But we do get the Bartolomeo out of hand here. And now I choose to play Kaido. Kaido was super clutch to draw into at the very end of the match. Gave me some of the, you know, some of the removal that we would need. Or excuse me, some of the lowering power that we needed because we had that removal in hand. And I will go ahead and cycle out that Hina right here. Kaido is going to be the finisher that we, you know, definitely want to have in this situation. One Great Eruption, though, is going to lower down the Sabo, drawing into a new card, and still a wall of blockers to get through the following turn. But with my opponent only at 2 cards in hand, we're just going to see a 7k swing, more than likely just going into Rob Lucci, or excuse me, going into life. But I'll just go ahead and 2k counter out of that with the Tashigi. And all 7 getting rested, so big Borsellino coming down and bottom decking the Sabo. At this stage, it didn't matter which Sabo I got rid of. I wanted to keep my fancy Sabo on the board, so I got rid of the other one. But yeah, still, board is very solid. 3 blockers to get through, or excuse me, 4 blockers with the Borsellino. And I know that I'm not going to be able to finish the game this turn, but I'll just go ahead and play brand new, see what I can look into, and sadly, I end up bottom decking that Mancherry as well as, or trashing the Mancherry as well as the Rebecca. So, little unfortunate, was really hoping to pick up that Mancherry, but off of like a card cycle or a draw, but I chose to do brand new first, and that ended up being the death of me. And I will cycle the Lucci, drawing into another Lucci, and I'm just trying to gauge as to what my hand is like, what can we work with this turn. And because of it, I think I'm just gonna have to leave Sabo up, as well as continuously swing 7 continuously swing 7 and just kind of hope for the best here. I'm gonna lower Rebecca down to a 3 cost, and I think I'm just gonna swing with swing with Rob Lucci, as well as play like another blocker. I would imagine that's what we're going for here. 7k swing. I feel as though at this point, he might just have to take it and kind of hope that the last life is a pretty relevant card. He does choose to take, and now I can just lift up Suru playing Borsellino and just pass it over. Yeah, kind of got to hope for a lack of removal on this turn, and I think getting rid of that Bartolomeo earlier was a really good sign for me, because if he doesn't have another one in hand, then I don't have to worry about like potentially another Borsellino into a blocker, but we should have plenty of swings to go for game right after this. I know that this is a tough spot to be in, no matter what. Just attacking with Borsellino is going to kind of stop me, I would imagine, defending the Rob Lucci. That Rob Lucci is just going to be off the board this turn. I mean, we do have 4 cards in hand. I could counter out and keep the attacker on board, but as long as he doesn't double block, I think we should be able to, just get through here. It's already used the cycle, but yeah, with 3 cards in hand, playing up against Kaido's pretty rough. So bottom decks the Borsellino here, and is going to attack 8 into Rob Lucci. Yeah. Or this might actually just be going into life. If this is going into life, I think we can take this pretty safely, yeah. Can definitely take it pretty safely. And then with 3 Dawn remaining, might just see a full-on 8k swing. Nope, 7k going to life. And now I can 2k, 1k counter out, and he'll just pass it over. Leaving the 1 active, you know, imagine if Black had a Radical Beam. Yeah, I'll go ahead and go 12 here. This does force the first block, and now we are able to just use the Suru Houndblaze and get the game right there. That Houndblaze ended up being real nice at the end of the game to go for it, but super solid match against my man Tyler here. This was a doozy. This one took a little bit of time, but it was a really well played match overall. And yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. And other than that, I will catch y'all on the next one. All right, peace.